All right, so the question is we got the surface area of a cylinder is given by 2,314.45 centimeters squared. All right, so that's supposed to be squared. And that diameter is 4 times smaller than the height of the cylinder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line across here. So that's the diameter and that's the height. And what we know is that if the diameter is x, then the diameter is smaller and 4 times smaller than the height. So then the height has to be 4x. So this is not drawn to scale. The other option is if I let the height equal to x, then the diameter will become x divided by 4. Either way I can choose, right? I'm going to use the other one because it looks easier. So if I make this x, I know this is 4x. It says calculate the height of the cylinder. So we want to calculate 4x at the end. That's what we want to get to. Now, we need to know what the surface area of a cylinder is. So the surface area of a cylinder is going to be given by the area at the top, which is pi r squared, plus the area at the bottom, which is pi r squared as well. But there's two of them. And here we're assuming that, well, let's suppose that both of this is covered. So it forms part of the entire surface area. If the one is not covered, so it would be open-ended like that. And the other one is, then we would say that you can actually put something inside. All right, that's when it's open, but we're saying it's closed, so we're going to take into account both the top and the bottom surface areas, which means we're going to have pi r squared and pi r squared at the bottom, which becomes 2 pi r squared. Then we want to plus the area around. So this is the top and the bottom, plus the area around the whole shape. The area around the whole shape we can unravel into a rectangle. And what we notice is that the circumference is the length. So we know that this length is going to be pi multiplied by depth. And we can see that the height is still 4x. Pi multiplied by diameter, which is going to be my length, which is my circumference. All right, so that's my circumference. My circumference unravels into my length because if I bring these two together, these two sides, it will form my cylinder. All right, now my diameter is x, that is d. So that means the length will be given by pi times x, or pi x. And the width will be given by 4x. So the area will be given by length multiplied by width. So that's going to be pi x multiplied by 4x, which will end up as 4 pi x squared. And that's going to be the area around. 4x multiplied by pi x, not x, just pi x, because pi times d is my circumference. So we end up with 4 pi x squared, which is the area around it. We could write it in terms of radius, which is actually going to be pi times d multiplied by the height, if this is the height. So pi times d multiplied by the height would be the actual formula. So pi times d times h. All right, so what's my radius? My radius is half my diameter, which is x over 2. What is my diameter? My diameter is x. And what is my height? My height is 4x. So I'm going to substitute that in for r, this in for diameter, and this in for h. And I'm going to end up with the following. So we're going to end up with 2 pi x over 2 squared plus pi times x times 4x. That's going to be 2 pi x squared over 4 plus 4 pi x squared. The 2 will cancel out with the 4, and I'll be left with pi x squared plus 4 pi x squared And I can now factorize the x squared and be left with pi plus 4 pi, which is 5 pi. All of this is equal to the surface area of the cylinder, and the surface area was given to us at the start, which is 2314.45. So we want to keep that going all the way through. We're just about at the last stages of the question, where we're now going to divide both sides by pi plus 4 pi. What's pi plus 4 pi? 5 pi. So I'm going to divide 2314.45 divided by 5 pi. That'll become x squared. And so the square root of x on both sides gets me my x value. And I now put this on a calculator carefully. We press the square root button, then we press fraction, then we put 2314.45 at the top, and at the bottom we put phi shift pi, and it comes to our answer 12.1 to three significant figures. Let's say around to two decimal places, 1.4 would be x in centimeters. Now we're going to multiply this answer by 4. So we're going to times it by 4, and it will come to 48.55. So therefore, 4x is going to be 4 times 12.14, which is actually 48. Now we could round off the final answer. It would be more accurate to do that. And this becomes 48.56 otherwise. 48.56, and this is going to be centimeters because it's just that height there. So this is 48.56, and this over here is 12.14 centimeters for this.